Hi everybody, I hope you are all fine and everything is okay. In this video, I'm gonna continue with the modern period in a general way, but we don't know what's the exact date of the modern period. But please don't get confused and describe it. Okay, let's look at the contents. When we look at the contents, we see that the modern period, the early modern period, the characteristics of the modern period, and lastly we will see the modernist literature. The modern period, what's the modern period? The modern times are the period from Enlightenment and the 18th century until today. Modern history is the history of the world beginning after the Middle Ages. This is very important. Modern era includes the early period and the early modern times, lasted from the end of the 15th century to the Industrial Revolution at the end of the 18th century. Let's look at the important events that occurred in the early modern period. I hope you are all familiar with these events because we saw these events from survey course. Let's look at these events. Firstly, we will see the spread of the printing press. Then we see the 30 Years' War. And thirdly, we will see the English Civil War. And lastly, we will see the Glorious Revolution. Okay. What's the characteristics of modern period? Let's look at that. Modern period has been marked by significant developments in the field of the science, literature, art, politics, warfare, technology, etc. It is known as an age of globalization and discovery. It also saw the rise of European powers and their dominance over colonial powers. We will see the importance of colonial power structure. Let's look at the industrialization. The introduction of the mass production led to significant productivity and efficiency improvement in countries. Let's look at the importance of colonialism. Colonialism is an expansionist military and economic policy that seeks the dominance over other peoples. And we will see the liberty. The modern period saw the rise of democracy as a dominant political system and the introduction of liberty, rights, and freedoms. And we see the modernism. Modernism is a design philosophy that was dominant in the period 1913 to 1917. It embraces both materialism and minimalism. And popular culture. What's the popular culture? What is the effect of it? Let's see. Broadcast media and industrialization made it possible for cultures such as music, dance, film, television, sports, especially fashion, and to achieve great scale. And we see the importance on the consumerism on the modern society. Mass production, marketing possibilities introduced by broadcast media and growing middle class brought consumerism to developed countries. Let's look at the modernist literature. We see that modernist literature break away from the traditional styles. It is the anti-traditional styles, okay? So we will see the some important terms in the modernist literature. The first one is stream of consciousness. It's a narrative mode or method that attempts to depict the thoughts and feelings which pass through the minds of a narrator, okay? So it's a free from everything, okay? Ignore everything, every style. And we will see the need for greater psychological realism. Reworking traditional forms or styles, addressing inner thoughts of a regular people, and we see the realism in the modernist literature. Let's look at the British modernist writers. The first one is Joseph Conrad, and secondly we will see the Virginia Woolf. Thirdly, Henry Moore. Fourthly, James Joyce, especially very important. Let's look at the characteristics of the modernist literature. We will see the individualism, experimentation, and symbolism. These are affect the modernist literature. In modernist literature, the individual is more interesting than society. Secondly, experimentation is a modernist writers broke free of old forms or styles and techniques. Symbolism is a literary device that uses symbols to represent something beyond the literal meaning. Okay, that's all. Thanks for listening. I hope you are all enjoy this video. Goodbye.